Godzilla has entered the Marvel Universe, and he's fighting everyone. Whether it's the Avengers, X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, or Thor, now he stands against the entire Marvel Universe. The story begins at the Baxter Building, where the Fantastic Four have gathered. For days, strange localized earthquakes have been shaking New York City. Reed Richards notices something alarming. These tremors aren't natural. They're concentrated in one region, as if something is trying to claw its way out of the ground. Suddenly the earth splits open. A newborn celestial emerges, shaking the city to its core. Reed explains that Earth itself is an egg, a cradle where new celestials can hatch. Thing demands to know why Reed didn't stop this if he knew about this already, but Reed insists the celestial wasn't supposed to awaken for another million years. Something terrible must have disturbed it. Johnny Storm rockets toward the massive being to draw its attention while shouting for Reed to figure out a way to stop it. But then, Mole Man appears from the same chasm, terrified and begging for help. His soldiers are dead or wounded. Reed demands to know what Mole Man did to wake the Celestial so soon, but the panicked villain blurts out that the Celestial isn't the real problem. It's Godzilla. A deafening roar shatters the air as Godzilla himself bursts from beneath the ground near the Statue of Liberty. Without hesitation, Godzilla savagely attacks the newborn Celestial. Even though this Celestial isn't at full power, it's still strong enough to destroy a planet. Yet Godzilla completely overpowers it, tearing off its head with brutal force. Flash back to several days earlier. Deep underground, Mole Man was plotting to destroy the surface world once again. His minions discovered a massive deposit of vibranium laced with unstable molecules. Seeing an opportunity, Mole Man forged a devastating weapon from the vibranium. But in doing so, he unknowingly awakened the king of the monsters. Now, that same king has ripped a celestial in half and let out a roar that echoes across the world. Everyone is frozen in terror. Reed whispers for the team to stay absolutely still. But Mole Man, panicked beyond reason, fires his weapon at Godzilla. Reed knocks him out, but the damage is done. Enraged, Godzilla glares at them like they're insects, then stomps down with his colossal foot. Susan Storm barely manages to throw up an invisible force field in time, saving the team. Reed quickly broadcasts on the emergency frequency, alerting the Avengers and X-Men to assemble at the Baxter Building. Because this is a level 10 threat. Thing mutters that they need a bigger threat scale for Godzilla. 11, 12, maybe 44. On the way out, Reed grabs Mole Man's staff. The unique vibranium forged into the weapon is unlike anything he's ever seen. And strangely, Godzilla seems to hate it. Minutes later, Earth's heroes converge on the scene. Captain America and Black Panther coordinate the evacuation, while Quicksilver races through the streets, pulling civilians out of harm's way. Invisible Woman creates massive force fields to slow Godzilla just long enough for people to escape, but it isn't enough. The Avengers can only watch as Godzilla tears through Midtown Manhattan, leveling entire buildings. They simply don't have the firepower to stop him. Black Panther decides to return to the Baxter Building to help Reed examine this mysterious vibranium, hoping it holds a clue. Johnny Storm suggests luring Godzilla toward New Jersey and letting him sink back into the Earth's core, as he always seems to do, but Reed stops him. He claims to have a solution, and instead orders the team to draw Godzilla toward the Baxter Building's vicinity, where he's preparing a trap. Just then, Thor finally arrives, apologizing for his delay. In true Asgardian fashion, he bellows for the monster to surrender or face the wrath of the God of Thunder. But Godzilla doesn't answer, and doesn't care. When Thor attacks, Godzilla swats him away with a single devastating tail strike, sending the Thunder God hurtling through the atmosphere and into outer space. Captain Marvel rockets off to retrieve Thor, while Reed recounts Godzilla's history. This isn't his first appearance. He first rose from the Sea of Japan, always bringing destruction in his wake. Sometimes he fought to protect Earth from other kaiju, only to disappear back into the ocean, undefeated every time. Now, Mole Man's reckless mining of vibranium infused with unstable molecules has disturbed Godzilla's ancient habitat, awakening the king of the monsters from his long slumber. And this time, he isn't going back quietly. Black Panther is stunned by this unique vibranium, a type that can only be formed after tens of thousands of years under unimaginable pressure. On the battlefield, Godzilla swats the thing across Manhattan for biting him, hurling Ben Grimm straight into the Daily Bugle building. He crashes right into J. Jonah Jameson's office, mutters that Spider-Man turned into a giant monster after drinking the lizard serum, and dashes back outside. As expected, Jameson instantly adds this to his anti-Spidey crusade. And Peter Parker is definitely going to hate the Bugle's front page tomorrow. Wanda Maximoff attempts to hex Godzilla, but her chaos magic has no effect. The king of the monsters is immune. If Reed's plan fails, they'll need even more backup, perhaps Doctor Strange. Unfortunately, Sue Storm's attempt to send a global distress signal reveals that Strange is already locked in battle with an interdimensional parasite. Meanwhile, Captain America steps directly in front of Godzilla. He slams his shield into the monster's nose and commands him to turn back or face fatal consequences. This is why Steve Rogers is a fan favorite, not because of super strength or flashy powers, but because of his courage. Godzilla growls as if he actually understands Cap's warning, then unleashes his atomic breath. Captain America deflects the beam with his shield, redirecting it back into Godzilla's neck. For the first time in this entire battle, someone wounds the Kaiju King. But Godzilla heals almost instantly. Quicksilver races to pull Captain America out of danger, sprinting toward the Baxter building with Godzilla in furious pursuit. Inside, Reed Richards is ready. His negative zone portal device is calibrated to banish Godzilla permanently, ensuring the monster can't return to threaten Earth again. But at the last moment, Godzilla lunges into the building, knocking the portal's aim off target. In a flash of unstable energy, Reed, Captain America, Sue Storm, and several other heroes are accidentally sucked into the negative zone. Black Panther barely escapes, while Johnny Storm watches his family vanish before his eyes. Heartbroken, Johnny burns hotter than ever, but Captain Marvel intervenes, assuring him they'll find a way to bring everyone back, if they can survive the threat at hand. Carol Danvers reveals that she recovered Thor from deep space, but the Thunder God flew off in rage before joining the fight. Black Panther also departs for Wakanda to develop a better plan. While just in time, Iron Man arrives with the new Avengers, ready to regroup. Far in the future, Earth lies in ruins. An older Johnny Storm works alongside Tony Stark, Riri Williams, and Forge, building one last desperate device to change the past and stop Godzilla before the world is completely destroyed. Johnny Storm asks if everything is ready. Stark, Riri Williams, and Forge tell him they need more time, but Johnny won't wait. He flies out in rage to stall Godzilla, roaring that decades ago the monster destroyed his family, and now he will have vengeance. While Johnny fights alone, Stark, Riri, and Forge succeed in launching something to an unknown location. But Johnny is consumed in Godzilla's cosmic fire, and the others soon fall as well. The result of their desperate plan remains a mystery. What was launched? Where did it go? No one knows. We cut back to the present day in Wakanda. Black Panther presents Mole Man's strange weapon to Shuri, who is amazed. They confirm that this unique Vibranium agitates Godzilla and weakens him. If they can synthesize more, they can build a powerful weapon capable of stopping the king of the monsters. T'Challa orders Shuri to focus all resources on this project, even above finding the missing Fantastic Four trapped in the negative zone. Shuri grimly remarks that the heroes might actually be safer there, because the footage coming out of Manhattan is beyond belief. On the battlefield, things look dire. Spider-Man and Daredevil are badly injured, and nothing seems to work against Godzilla. Even Spidey's spider sense fails to detect the monster's attacks. While the other heroes distract Godzilla, Ant-Man and Wasp try to use Pym particles to shrink him. They find the perfect opening, fire the particles, and watch in shock as Godzilla simply shrugs them off. This version of Godzilla isn't just a giant monster. Right now, Godzilla is portrayed as a cosmic powerhouse, immune to Wanda Maximoff's chaos magic, Hank Pym's particles, and even Spider-Man's danger sense. Amid the chaos, Godzilla smashes through the bar with no name, the secret hangout where supervillains gather to drink and relax away from superheroes. If you don't know, the bar with no name is a secret venue where supervillains can relax and socialize. No one knows who owns it, not even the employees, but branches exist in most major American cities and beyond. Fighting is forbidden inside, and even superheroes respect its neutrality. When Godzilla crushed the bar underfoot, villains like Rhino, Vulture, Venom, Sandman, Electro, and many others were inside. The bar was their sanctuary, and seeing it destroyed enraged them. Sandman attacked first, shouting, "Do you even know how hard it is to run a bar for supervillains?" Hydro Man panicked, muttering that the mysterious owner would evict them all. Venom lunged at Godzilla, but in a terrifying twist, the symbiote tried to abandon Eddie Brock to bond with the monster instead. Spider-Man barely pulled Venom back in time, stopping Godzilla from becoming even more powerful. Meanwhile, in the Sanctum Sanctorum, Doctor Strange realized Godzilla was a far greater threat than the dimensional parasite he was fighting. Temporarily sealing the creature inside the sanctum, Strange rushed to join the battle. On the streets of Manhattan, an unprecedented alliance formed, heroes and villains fighting side by side. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova, Ms. Marvel, and dozens more joined the fight against the king of the monsters. Godzilla prepared to unleash a devastating atomic blast, but Doctor Strange arrived just in time, binding his mouth and body with the crimson bands of Sidorak. The Sorcerer Supreme commanded Godzilla to leave the world of man or face his full power. But in a shocking display, Godzilla shattered the unbreakable bands with raw strength. Strange was stunned. This monster was now stronger than ever. Spider-Man warned Strange that even Pym particles had failed. Science couldn't stop Godzilla, and now either could magic. Strange grimly concluded they need to summon both Hulk and Thor. Just then, Thor returned, but not alone. He brought Fin Fang Foom, having struck a deal. If Foom defeated Godzilla, Thor would reward him greatly. In previous Marvel stories, Godzilla and Fin Fang Foom clashed several times. And in the recent Godzilla vs. Avengers comics, Foom was the one who challenged the monster. But now, Godzilla had evolved. He punched Fin Fang Foom with colossal force, and when Foom retaliated with acid breath, Godzilla shrugged it off before blasting him with his atomic fire. Doctor Strange decided there was only one option left. He opened a massive portal to banish Godzilla to another realm, the astral plane, a dimension from which the only escape is mastering magic and spellcraft. Every hero and villain unleashed their strongest attacks, driving Godzilla into the vortex. With a thunderous roar, the king of the monsters vanished and drifted away in the astral planes as the portal slammed shut. For a moment, Earth was silent. Strange warned the exhausted Alliance that this was only a temporary victory. Godzilla will return, he said gravely. We need to gather our strongest heroes. The war has just begun. Deep inside the negative zone, we finally learn the truth about the mysterious object sent from the future. It's not a weapon, it's Herbie, the Fantastic Four's trusted robot. His mission: find the Fantastic Four and help them stop Godzilla before the future is doomed. Now let's talk about it. I know most of you guys have noticed that there are many irregularities in this comic, but overall I am liking it. Godzilla is shown as a cosmic threat, and we all know that he is going to return. We might even see him using magic or getting some magic-related power boost. X-Men will arrive in the next issue to fight against Godzilla, so we will see what happens next. For now, what you guys can do is subscribe to my channel and comment anything because it helps the video reach more viewers. And check out my other videos. I will see you in the next one.